Hey everyone, welcome back to Book Peer. I'm Paul.
And I'm Alice.
So today we're going to be looking at this book about, like mastering your time. And I think that's something we could all use a little help with.
Oh, for sure. It feels like everyone's just constantly busy these days.
Yeah, totally. And this book looks at productivity, but not in the way we usually think about it, right?
It really kind of flips the script.
Yeah.
It argues that it's more about managing your attention and energy, not just like cramming more into your day.
So it's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Like if you were training for a marathon, you wouldn't do your hardest workout when you're already exhausted.
That's a good point. You'd want to do it when you have the most energy.
Right. And the author actually lays out a 5-level framework for understanding productivity.
5 levels. Whoa. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So level 1 is all about eliminating distractions to improve focus.
Okay, that makes sense. You need to be able to focus to actually get anything done.
Right. Then level 2 focuses on boosting your energy levels, things like sleep, diet, exercise, all that.
Yeah, you can't be productive if you're running on empty.
Exactly. And then we move to level 3, which is defining your vision or goals, like figuring out what you're actually working towards.
Oh, so it's like having a destination in mind before you start the journey.
Exactly. Then level 4 is planning your day effectively, putting that vision into action, making to-do lists, scheduling all that.
Okay, makes sense. So what's level 5?
Level 5 emphasizes having a fulfilling social life.
Oh, wow. So it's not just about work. It's about having balance, too.
Exactly. It recognizes that we're human, not robots. And the author is really big on mastering that first level, eliminating distractions. It's like the foundation for everything else.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
If you can't focus, it doesn't really matter how well you plan or manage your energy.
Exactly. And to help with that, he talks about something called attention residue.
Attention residue. What's that?
It's basically this idea that even when you've moved on to a new task, your mind can still be kind of stuck on the previous one.
Oh, so even if I close my laptop and step away from work, my brain might still be thinking about that last email or project.
Exactly. It's still processing in the background.
Yeah.
Making it harder to fully focus on the next thing.
Wow. I've definitely experienced that. I just thought my brain was being slow. I never knew there was a term for it.
Yeah, it's a real thing. And the book suggests using what he calls transition rituals to help clear your mind and shift your focus.
Transition rituals, like what?
It could be something as simple as taking a walk listening to music or just like a few minutes of mindfulness. Anything to kind of reset your brain.
That's cool. If you guys have any cool transition rituals, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear what works for you.
Yeah, for sure. So it's not just about minimizing external distractions, but also managing our internal mental state.
Yeah, it's like being mindful of how our minds work and using strategies to, set ourselves up for success.
Exactly. Now, the book also introduces this really interesting framework for organizing work based on different roles.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. The CEO, COO, and employee thing, right?
Yeah. So imagine yourself as a CEO for a second. What would your role be?
Well, I guess it would be about setting the big goals, making important decisions, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Big picture thinking and planning. Then you have the COO, who's responsible for making sure everything runs smoothly on a day-to-day basis.
So the COO puts the CEO's plans into action.
Precisely. We're like the master organizer. And then you have the employee role, which is all about completing specific tasks following the plan set by the CEO and COO.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this could be helpful. It's like taking on different hats throughout the day depending on what you need to do.
Exactly. It's all about creating a system that works for you and helps you use your time and energy effectively.
That makes a lot of sense.
Hey.
If you're finding this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more book insights like this.
We appreciate it. Now let's talk about something we all struggle with, procrastination.
Ugh, yes. The ultimate productivity killer.
The book really digs into the root causes of procrastination. Things like fear of failure, perfectionism, lack of clarity.
Yeah, I've definitely been there. When a task feels too big or I'm not sure how to start, it's easy to just put it off.
Absolutely. And the book offers some practical tips for overcoming procrastination. One of the big ones is breaking down large tasks into smaller, more manageable steps.
Yeah, that's a classic tip, but it really does work. When something feels overwhelming, breaking it down makes it seem much less scary.
Exactly. It's about shifting your focus to those smaller wins. Another strategy is setting deadlines, even if they're self-imposed.
Deadlines are definitely my friend. They help me stay on track. But even with deadlines, sometimes I still procrastinate.
Well, the book also emphasizes self-compassion. We all have moments of weakness. It's okay to slip up sometimes as long as you don't let it derail you completely.
So it's about being kind to ourselves and not expecting perfection.
Exactly. And celebrating those small wins can help you stay motivated.
That's a good point. It's easy to get caught up in what we haven't done yet and forget to appreciate how far we've come.
It's all about balance,
Yeah.
pushing yourself, but also being patient with yourself along the way.
I love how this book goes beyond just time management tips. It's about personal growth and self-awareness too.
It's about taking control of your time and your life.
Absolutely. And it's a good reminder that time is our most valuable resource.
And it's up to us to use it wisely. So what stood out to you the most from what we've discussed so far?
I think the emphasis on managing attention and energy really resonated with me. It's a reminder that productivity is not just about doing more, but about doing things effectively and with intention.
I completely agree. It's about making choices that align with our values and goals and, creating a life that feels meaningful.
Absolutely. So if you're looking to take control of your time and boost your productivity, this book is definitely worth checking out.
And be sure to share your thoughts on the book in the comments below. We'd love to hear what resonates with you and what strategies you're excited to try.
We love hearing from you guys. So if you enjoy this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more book discussions like this.
It's funny you should mention that about making choices that align with our values and goals, because that really ties into one of the book's core principles.
Yeah.
It's all about defining your vision.
Oh yeah. Earlier we talked about how the book emphasizes that as level 3 of its 5-level productivity framework.
Right.
Figuring out what you really want to achieve in the long run.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond just setting goals. It's about understanding your values, what you prioritize, and what kind of legacy you want to leave behind.
Okay, so it's like creating a roadmap for your life instead of just kind of drifting along.
Exactly. And the book actually gives you some pretty thought-provoking questions to help you define your vision. Like, what do you want to be remembered for? What impact do you want to have on the world? What kind of person do you want to become?
Wow, those are some big questions, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're important to think about. It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and lose sight of the bigger picture.
Absolutely. And without a clear vision, it's easy to just react to things instead of actually shaping your life. You end up chasing other people's priorities instead of your own.
That's a good point. It's about taking ownership of your time and making sure your choices are aligned with what truly matters to you. One thing that I think gets in the way of making good choices sometimes is decision fatigue. Have you ever noticed how by the end of the day, you just don't want to make any more decisions?
Oh, totally. By like 5 p.m., my brain is fried. I either just go with the easiest option or put it off completely.
Me too. It's like our brains have a limited amount of decision-making power, and it gets used up throughout the day.
The book actually talks about that. It explains that decision fatigue is a real thing. Every time we make a choice, our brain uses up energy, and as that energy gets depleted, our decision-making skills get worse.
So it's not just a matter of willpower or laziness, it's an actual physiological thing.
Exactly. And knowing that can help us be more strategic with our decisions. The book suggests minimizing the number of decisions you have to make each day by creating routines and automating tasks.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you can reduce the number of small decisions you have to make, you'll have more mental energy for the important ones.
Exactly, like planning your meals in advance or picking out your clothes the night before. That way you don't have to waste brain power on those things in the morning.
Those are some good tips.
Yeah.
It's all about being mindful of your mental energy and using it wisely. Hey, if you guys are enjoying this conversation, be sure to give this episode a like and subscribe to our channel for more book insights and productivity tips.
We appreciate it. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something I know we all struggle with: procrastination.
Ugh, yeah, procrastination. It's the worst.
Well, the book actually dives into the root causes of procrastination. Things like fear of failure, perfectionism, lack of direction.
Yeah, I can relate to all of those. I definitely procrastinate when I feel overwhelmed or when I'm not sure how to approach a task.
Makes sense. And the book offers some strategies for overcoming procrastination. One is breaking down large tasks into smaller, more manageable steps.
I feel like that's a pretty common tip. But it's so true. When something feels huge and overwhelming, breaking it down makes it seem much more doable.
Right. It's about focusing on those smaller wins. Another strategy is setting deadlines, even if you have to set them for yourself.
Yeah, deadlines definitely help me stay on track. But sometimes even with deadlines, I still find myself procrastinating.
The book also emphasizes self-compassion. We all have moments of weakness. It's okay to slip up sometimes, as long as it doesn't become a habit.
So it's about being kind to ourselves and not expecting to be perfect all the time.
Exactly. And celebrating those small wins can really help you stay motivated.
That's a good point. It's easy to focus on what we haven't done yet and forget to acknowledge how far we've come.
It's about finding that balance. Pushing yourself, but also being patient with yourself.
This book seems to go beyond just time management. It's about personal growth and self-awareness, too.
It's about understanding yourself better, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and using that knowledge to create a more fulfilling and productive life.
I love that. So it's a more holistic approach to time management. It's not just about techniques and strategies,
Yeah.
but also about mindset and self-compassion.
Exactly. It's about seeing time management as a framework for living more intentionally and creating a life that truly reflects who you are and what you want to achieve.
That's a really powerful message. I
Yep.
think that's something we all strive for, to live a life that feels meaningful and aligned with our values. Now, I'm curious what you thought of the book's CEO, COO, and employee framework for organizing work. Did you find that helpful?
It's a really interesting idea. I think it could be really helpful for some people, those who like structure and clear boundaries. But for others, it might feel a little too rigid.
Yeah, it definitely depends on your personality and work style.
Yeah.
I guess the key is to experiment and see what works best for you.
Exactly. There's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to productivity. I personally found the framework helpful for prioritizing tasks and avoiding distractions.
Yeah, it's like giving yourself permission to focus on one thing at a time without feeling guilty about all the other stuff you could be doing.
Right. And it helps you avoid multitasking, which we all know doesn't really work.
So instead of trying to do everything at once, you're intentionally shifting your focus throughout the day.
Exactly. It's all about being strategic with your energy and attention.
This has been such a great conversation. I'm already feeling inspired to try some of these strategies.
That's awesome. Remember, even small changes can make a big difference.
Absolutely. And I think one of the biggest takeaways from this book is the importance of self-awareness and aligning your actions with your values.
Couldn't agree more. It's about creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling.
So listeners, if you're looking for a practical guide to mastering your time and living more intentionally, this book is definitely worth checking out. It's packed with actionable strategies and inspiring insights that can help you take control of your time and create a life you love.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more book discussions and productivity tips. We'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What resonated with you most from this book? What strategies are you excited to try?
We love connecting with you guys. Until next time, happy reading, and remember, make the most of your precious time.